Welcome to our sports show. You're here with Josh, aka Lil Chef.
Hello.
What's up? And I'm Joshua, or Josh as well. This is our first week of recording, so we're going to be talking football a lot today.
Yeah, football, pro football, college football. Right now, what's going on is the preseason for the pros. So we're getting to look at a lot of the backups. I mean, we get the starters in general, but all the backups as well. So who's going to make the team, who's not, and then we're going to jump into some college football, stuff like that.
Right. Anyone that you've been surprised with so far?
Actually, the Rod Smith for the Cowboys? I saw the little bit of the Colts game, and he was just flat out running over people, dude. I mean, he's a fullback, is what he's classified as, but
right.
Dude looked good for a fullback.
Awesome. And in case you're not aware, we are in Texas, so we will definitely be talking Texans, Cowboys, and those Texas Longhorns who you're a big fan of, right?
I do like them. I'm anxious to see how they do this year. It's going to be interesting with the old Herdman at the wheel.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit later or on a separate video altogether. But first, we're going to talk about with those Cowboys, and Tony Romo is gone.
Yeah, he is officially retired. I think he's actually going to be announcing one of the Cowboys games this year.
Really?
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how that portrays. I mean, Troy Aikman does a pretty good job. So does Daryl Johnston and all those guys. So
Joe Buck, he took. Whose spot did he take? Phil Simms? No, he was on Fox Network. I can't remember whose spot he took, but yeah, I'm very interested to see how it's going to play out with him.
Yeah, no longer being a part of the team. I mean, you want to still support your team, but at the same time, I wonder if he left with a little bit of scorn, like, because he wasn't quite. He never got another shot after that, and I guess nobody else wanted him or wanted to pay what he was worth, so he decided to go broadcast instead.
Right, yeah, and he is replacing Phil Simms. That's what I thought it was Phil Simms, but on CBS, he's going to be. Oh, that's right, he's going to be partnered with Jim Nance.
Okay.
That's right, I forgot about that. It's kind of crazy that they just booted Phil Simms.
Yeah, of all the people, I figured like Jim Nance will help carry that for dang sure. I think Tony's going to be more of a color commentator type of guy until he gets his boots wet.
So still sticking with that, are you surprised that Jay Cutler got a job this offseason and Romo didn't? Since with the Dolphins, he got signed here recently.
Yeah, he went with the Dolphins. I could kind of see that, but kind of not. Cutler's, I would assume Cutler's a little bit younger. I think he's got more upside coming in. Romo's got a lot of back surgeries. Right. Cutler really hasn't been hurt, and if he has, he's played through a lot of it.
Yeah, I think he's missed some the last few years, but I was just surprised that because I think he's going to be the starter now, right?
He's going to take Tannehill's spot?
Tannehill's hurt. That's why they signed him.
Oh.
All right, so back to the Romo situation. One thing we were going to talk about today is, do you think is whether we think Romo is a Hall of Famer or not? So definitely you should weigh in the comments below and let us know whether you think he's a Hall of Famer or not. We got some quarterbacks we're going to discuss on this. We got a little list here. We'll put some of these guys on the screen as we go through them and just discuss briefly whether we think he's going to be a Hall of Famer or not.
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think so, man. There's a lot more. Well, I won't say more, better. There's a lot higher caliber, in my opinion, quarterbacks than Tony Romo. I've been a Cowboys fan my whole life, so it's not like I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I'm not going to like Tony Romo. I always thought he was super overrated. He never really did anything major, and if you wanted to lose a game, you just put him in, and he's got it done for you. Especially whenever you need somebody to hold an extra point, he's your man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
I still think that's probably pretty fresh in a lot of Cowboys fans' mind, especially around here. They get those.
Mm-hmm.
That they always think they're the team that's gonna win it. And I'm not a big Cowboys fan. I will be more of a Cowboys fan now that Romo's gone because I did not like Romo for the things you just said. I thought he was way overrated. Just looking at it, his playoff record: 2 wins, 4 losses. I don't know. I can't remember how many years he played. I think around 10 years. 10, 11 years is how long he played. He only made the playoffs 4 times. Only got 2 wins. He finished with 34,183 passing yards, and 248 touchdowns.
I mean, that's good for the Cowboys. He's our franchise leader for that stat line. I mean, that's good right. For the Cowboys. You got to think Troy Aikman, Rod Staubach, just call it those big name Hall of Fame quarterbacks that you associate with him. He passed all those, but to me, he never shined like they did.
Right. He didn't win when it counted.
Yeah.
Because I think he even a lot of Romo fans will say he had a good record and that he always got hurt. Well, if you're not on the field, you're hurting your team just as much as if you throw that pick six that kills your team and causes them not to win the game. It's just as important. But just kind of looking at some different guys. So with his stat line, some similar players that played in the NFL that had a 2-4 record would be, we got Alex Smith. He's still playing, so he could better that. He's 2-4. Jeff Garcia, you remember him?
Yeah.
49ers, Browns, and I can't remember who else he played for. He was decent with the 49ers. He's 2-4 as well. Chad Pennington. Oh, man.
A long time ago.
He's 2-4. Jake Plummer.
Yeah.
You remember Jake the Snake Plummer?
Yeah, he was with the Broncos at the end of his career, wasn't he?
Yep. Cardinals, then Broncos. 2-4. Drew Bledsoe, who I think Romo actually replaced, right?
Yep.
He's 3-3 as a starter. And he threw for 10,000 more yards and 3 more touchdown passes. And he had a better playoff record. And he might have even went to 1 Super Bowl. I think he was a starting quarterback for the Patriots when they lost to the Packers in 96, maybe.
Well, because I know he was the quarterback on the team whenever Brady came in and like took his spot too. He got hit. He got knocked out of bounds. I think they were playing the Jets and they like waylaid on him. And Brady came in and took it and never let go.
Nope. And 5 Super Bowl wins later.
Yep. How would you like to be the quarterback that you know if you get hurt, you're going to be replaced and never play again? Because that happened to him twice.
Right. Well, the second time he was at the end of his career, so I don't really know that he was counting on too much more.
Right.
But Carson Palmer still playing. He's got more touchdown passes and more passing yards. He's 1-3 in the playoffs. Kerry Collins played in the Super Bowl as well with the Giants. If you remember, they lost. He's 3-4 in the playoffs. He finished with 40,000 yards passing, which is more than Romo as well. Only 208 touchdown passes. The guy we're just talking about, Jay Cutler, is 1-1 in the playoffs. He's got 32,000 passing yards and 208 touchdowns. And remember, Romo has 2 wins and 4 losses, and Tim Tebow has 1 less playoff win than Tony Romo does. And he played for 3 years, maybe?
Yep. It was like I remember that play too. Like right at like a slant over the middle, and he just busted it up and took off.
Yep. A 5-yard slant that turned into an 80-yard or 75-yard touchdown catch, whatever it was. Some other guys. Let's see. Vinny Testaverde. Remember him?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He was a journeyman. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would maybe consider him a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't say. I don't know if he has been or inducted or anything, but
I don't think he has been.
I definitely wouldn't say a first ballot. There's no way.
He's 2-3 in the playoffs. He's got 46,000 passing yards, 275 touchdowns. Both of those more than Romo. Matt Ryan, at this point in his career, he's already has more passing yards than Tony Romo does, and he needs 8 more touchdown passes to pass Tony Romo for passing touchdowns. He's 3-5. He's been to a Super Bowl as well. So would you say? I mean, what we're here discussing is whether, if you're going to set the bar, to me, for a Hall of Famer, for a quarterback, I guess what's your criteria for a quarterback to be a Hall of Famer?
Just their overall career. Like, to me, you got certain people that they're going to be Hall of Fame quarterbacks. There's no way around it. Like Peyton Manning.
Right. Tom
Brady, whenever he does retire, if he's not a first ballot, there's some mixed feelings.
Same for Peyton Manning. There's no way those two aren't first ballot.
Like that's ridiculous. Eli, as much as I don't like Eli Manning, he's put up the stats, put up the numbers, and put up the rings to get up there.
So do you think you have to win a ring? Do you think one ring makes you a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Well, it depends on how you get it. If you're the starting quarterback and you're there, then yeah. But if you're just on the team and you have a ring, then no.
That's what I mean. If you're the starting quarterback and win one,
I think that has a huge deal for it. And then it depends on how many times you can repeat that. I mean, because look at Brett Favre. Did he ever win?
He won 1 Super Bowl.
1 Super Bowl, and to me, he's for sure a Hall of Fame quarterback. Like, the dude was just a legend. There's no way around that.
Yeah.
But I think that definitely helps, in my opinion. Super Bowl definitely helps.
So just going to look at a few of these and just see what you think. These are guys that have won a Super Bowl here in the last, I would say in the last 10 years for sure. One of these is a little bit longer than that. Or a few of these are all since 2000, it looks like. But Russell Wilson is 8-4, and he's got 1 Super Bowl win. Now, if he continues to play at his current level, of course, he's going to end up being a Hall of Famer. Especially if he gets 1 or 2 more rings. But at this point, if he was to not win another Super Bowl, I don't know that he's necessarily a Hall of Famer.
Right. Well, and then also it comes into the situation. I think the reason why the Seahawks made it the time that they did is defense. The Seahawks defense carries that team.
And Marshawn Lynch. Right. Drew Brees, he's 6-5 in the playoffs. He's only made the playoffs 6 times in his career.
I could see that. I mean, he's got the Super Bowl with the Saints.
Mm-hmm. But he's got 66,000 passing yards, and if he can play 2 more healthy seasons, he will break Peyton Manning's record for most passing yards in a career, which to me makes him a Hall of Famer. Trent Dilfer, he was 5-1 in the playoffs. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Right.
With the Super Bowl win, he made the playoffs twice and won a Super Bowl and won games every year in the playoffs. But only 20,000 passing yards, 113 touchdowns, so not really a Hall of Famer. But has 3 more playoff wins than Tony Romo does.
Yeah.
Matt Hasselbeck on here, he went to 1 Super Bowl, didn't win it.
No hassle?
Yeah.
That was an inside joke back in the day when I was in college, man. Matt Hasselbeck, we always said no hassle because he played for the Seahawks at the time. It was just, I don't know. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
That's funny. And he went to the Super Bowl with them, but he's got 36,000. He's got actually more passing yards than Romo does and a few less touchdowns at 212. 5 wins as well, 3 more than Romo. But no, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer either. Mark Sanchez and Colin Kaepernick both still playing. Both have 4 playoff wins each, 4-2, and Colin Kaepernick went to 1 Super Bowl, if you remember. Brad Johnson on here, 4-3. He won a Super Bowl with the Bucks.
Oh wow, he was the quarterback whenever Gruden won it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Phillip Rivers has got 4 playoff wins. Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, both 3 wins already. So I mean, there's just a lot of guys I think that. And we didn't even talk about the guys at the top of this list here. You got Eli Manning's 8-4 with 2 Super Bowls. To me, with 8-4 with 2 Super Bowls, that's a no-brainer. And plus his numbers, 48,000 passing yards and 320 touchdown passes. No-brainer. I don't know that Donovan McNabb is in the Hall of Fame. I can't remember if he got in a couple years ago or not. But he's 9-7, and he's got more passing yards and a few less touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers is 9-7. He's been there every year, and he's won 1. And Joe Flacco, I did not know this. He's got 10 playoff wins. Second most of active players behind
Tom Brady.
10 wins, 5 losses, and he has a Super Bowl as well.
So I'm wondering if, well, let me put this little bug in your ear. If it's not necessarily your stats, but it's your heart, the way you carry yourself, what you do for the organization, stuff like that. Like, to me, Aaron Rodgers, for sure, Hall of Fame quarterback. Joe Flacco, debatable.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got better stats. It's like, what's the difference between the two? It's not like I'm a Green Bay Packers fan, because I'm not. And I root for them when they're on, as long as Cowboys aren't playing. But that's because I like Aaron Rodgers. He's a cool dude. But what makes the difference? Is it because of the way he carries himself? He's that leader. He just commands the field. The discount double check. Like, what's the difference between him and Flacco?
And it's kind of the same way, because you remember Donovan McNabb. He was the face of the Eagles for a long time. And they went to, 5 or 6 straight NFC championship games? They were dominating. They just didn't win a Super Bowl when he was there. But I don't know what it is, but I don't think that Romo had the stuff to make. I feel like there was, if you think back on Romo's career, you think about the fumbled snap.
Yep.
You think about, what was it? Did he throw an interception against Green Bay that one year?
I think so.
Towards the end, I can't remember either, but it just seems like you always think of the choke instances,
which is crazy because his stats in the fourth quarter are outrageous, man. Like looking at the stat line, he led 27 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter and overtime, and most in the NFL over that span. Like he's got everybody. He beat Peyton Manning and Matt Ryan in both those stat lines. It's like, what? His completion percentage is number 1. His yards per attempt is number 1. His touchdowns, interceptions is 4th. Like, he played good in the fourth quarter, but It was like...
But what you got to remember...
Why don't we remember that?
What you got to remember about having 27 fourth quarter comebacks is that means that in 27 games, they were trailing in the fourth quarter. Because if you're ahead in the fourth quarter, then you don't have to come back. So a lot of those better quarterbacks, like Tom Brady, you don't see him... He's really good at the 2-minute drives, but you don't see him have a ton of fourth quarter comebacks because his team's ahead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have to be losing to get those fourth quarter comebacks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, I don't know. Like, to me, I would say he would probably get some awards for sure for the Cowboys. Maybe even retire his number. Maybe. But no.
I mean, put him in the Ring of Honor? They don't retire jerseys.
Yeah. Well, because I was like, there's no way, because Troy Aikman was number 8. And it's like...
Romo's 9.
Okay. I was like, and then, like, there's no way you're not going to retire Romo over Aikman. There's no way.
Or Smith, or Emmitt Smith.
Or Emmitt Smith,
You know, but Jerry Jones does love him some Romo.
He does. He liked him a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, more than anyone.
Well, he's a lot of that. He's a hands-on owner, which is not necessarily the best thing. I mean, he's good. The players love him because he pays them the big bucks. But at the same time, he's a little too hands-on in the coaches.
Right.
As long as you do what he says, you're good.
He's got a yes man there now.
Yep.